So what is inbound marketing? How many, just a quick show of hands, has everybody heard of the inbound marketing phrase? Okay, most. So outbound marketing is disruptional. It's not permission-based. You're going to your prospect or your customer and just throwing stuff out of them. I want to know how many of you got the implosion of emails from PPAI this week. Are we kidding? Did you look at any one of them and say, yeah, I'm going to that booth. They have a special. Are we kidding? It's a joke. The other thing about outbound marketing is you don't own it. As soon as that ad's done, it's over. You're paying more. Pay-per-click, you're paying more. Now, I talked about HubSpot, right, inbound? HubSpot is the biggest outbound company that I know. Their sales playbooks, how much they spend on outbound is unbelievable, but they do it in the right manner. Inbound marketing, you own it. It's permission-based. The prospect's coming to you, so you can have a timely conversation with them rather than you pushing and praying information on them. So the inbound methodology, probably have all seen this. We do follow this, though. We want to attract strangers to our website and turn those strangers into visitors. We want to convert those visitors by providing them with information into leads. We want to convert those leads into customers. Here's the most important piece for everybody in the room right here, is you need to delight. I think Ted said something about delight earlier. You need to delight your customers. Think about it. If you've worked so hard for those orders and so hard for the attention of this customer, and they decide to go order something from somebody else, it's because you haven't been in front of them delighting them, not slamming them with some emails and some specials and some flyers. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for you to delight them. I know that in our business, and Cathy and I have discussed this, that about 70% of our clients are extremely loyal. They're going to come back to us no matter what. And then the 30%, even somebody who's been doing business with us for 20 years, will all of a sudden have this brain fart and decide that they want to go out and find the pot of promo gold on the internet themselves. It's like, what are you doing? And at that time, we realized that we're not delighting them enough. So we've got to do a better job at that. So there's several major themes around inbound marketing. The first is content creation. You need to create content. Here's what I know about content today. If you're going to create irrelevant, short, boring content, don't bother. 200, 300 words, don't bother. Google's changed its algorithms today to what's called rank brain. Its machines are smart enough to know how you talk into your phone. Tell me what the best place close to Fremont Street is to hold a conference. Longer tail sentences that sound human. Google's also going to rank you on the relevance of your content. If somebody comes to your website because you've pushed some content out there, it's 200 to 300 words, and they go, man, this is garbage, they're out. Google wants to know and is going to rank you based on how people interact with your content. Are they sharing it across the web? Are they clicking through your website? How much value are they finding in it? So don't write content for the search engines, write it for the reader. Life cycle marketing, this is really important. This goes back to that conversation we just had about the PPAI and just pushing out loads of emails. Everybody is not in the same life cycle and the buyer's journey that you're ready to talk to. So if they show up in your website and you have a direct offer right there in the homepage, get a quote from us now. They're in the awareness stage most likely. They're just finding out who you are. They are not ready to buy anything for you. So make sure that you understand your personas and where they are in the life cycle. Personalized in context, you need to know who your buyer personas are. If you're writing about yourselves, again, don't bother. Frankly, no one cares. You need to know what their pain points are and their opportunities. You need to know what they care about. You need a multi-channel presence. Today, when we first started InBound, it was simple. The premise was put up a load of content, keyword the crap out of it, just keep hammering the internet with it, you'll be fine. Well, that's not true. It's changed today. You need a multi-channel presence. You need to be social. Social media is in its infancy and is only going to continue to grow. This is important. You need integration. In order to run full inbound style campaigns, you need tools. Now, I don't care what tools they are. HubSpot's not the best tool out there. HubSpot happens to have the best community, the best education, and the best support. In my opinion, Marketo's probably the best. Acton's very good, Pardot's good, Infusionsoft is good. They're all good. There's probably 50 more. but you need some type of integration to help you. So, use inbound marketing to build trust. You want to be loved by delighting your audience, your customers, your prospects. And you want to outsmart your competition, not outspend them. Because you're not going to outspend your competition with, let's say, pay-per-click. You're just not going to do it.
So, inbound marketing is a lot like dating. I wouldn't go into the club and check out this cute guy and say, hey, what's your sign?
Scorpio.
Hey, me too. Let's get married.
Sounds good to me.
I know nothing about him. You need to learn as much as you can about your buyer. Inbound marketing begins with creating buyer personas. And a buyer persona is nothing more than a semi-fictional character who represents your ideal client, based on market research as well as real data about your current clients.
So how do we know this? So Cathy's statement she just said about getting to know your buyer personas and creating your buyer personas. If everybody here in the room today was to sign up for Inbound and go through the training with HubSpot, the first thing you would do is create buyer personas. So we do that as an agency for ourselves. We do it for all of our clients. So we create between 3 and 5 buyer personas. So Marketing Mary is one of our buyer personas. And we create a story around Mary. We get to know her. We keep this story, and there's other slides behind this, in HubSpot, and we refer to it. We never stick it in our desk. We constantly update it because we continue to learn more about her. So how do we do this? We talk to them. We know what our clients' days are like. I'm sure everybody in the room here has a Marketing Mary persona, and you know what their day's like. We understand her background, her demographics. What's most important is we understand what her pains and her challenges are. This is really important. She deals with reactionary marketing all day long. She deals with the lack of resources, clear roles, goals. She wants to be valued for her job. So then, as far as creating the persona, what we do is we create the pain points that we've learned about Mary. What are her pain points? Then we create solutions around her pain points on how we can solve the pain that she has. Now, we all sell promo products. Her pain point is how to find the best tumbler that's dishwasher safe. That's not her pain point. She can go out and find that all day long. So what does Mary actually do? Man, her day is rough. She deals with everything but marketing. I bet you if you were to interview most of your marketing personas in this space, their day is just awful. Business owner Bob comes in and says, hey, we need new graphics. We're going to a trade show in 2 weeks. We need to update our webpage. Please put our 40th anniversary announcement on our webpage today. I mean, it's just constant. Does she really do any real marketing that proves the ROI, that proves what she's doing, that shares leads with the sales team? She doesn't. She wants help. She doesn't want you to sell her products. She can go on the internet and find anything she wants. She wants to prove her value to the company. So, I want everybody to meet Marketing Mary. It's a little skit here, so hang on. Hi, Marketing Mary.
Hello.
I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Mary, and I just graduated a few months ago with a marketing degree, and I landed a great job with a manufacturing company. And I like my boss, and I like what we do, but I don't feel as though I get that much done during my day. It seems as though I'm doing so many other things outside my job description that I don't generate real results. And I so want to be a better marketer, provide real solutions in order to generate new business for my company, because that's what marketers do, right? Oh, excuse me, I think I hear somebody knocking, and I don't have any appointments set up.
Hey, Mary, it's me, Pete.
Oh, hi, Pete.
How are you?
I'm so busy.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Hey, we sent out some direct mail. I want to see if you got it. It was direct to you, came directly to you with direct offers. We had tumblers in there with EQP.
I don't think I got that.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey, did you get the email blast we sent you? It had some great stuff in there. It had lead specials. Leads specials.
I don't remember seeing that either.
No, huh? Hey, we have a new website. It is really cool. I don't know if you've been on that, but we price match guarantee anybody's price. We'll match anybody's price out here. Have you been there yet?
I just haven't had the time to check it out, but I'll work on that.
Geez, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, I think it's time to reorder those pens. you know, you've been ordering those pens for like 5 years. What do you think? You need pens?
I think I'm all set, Pete.
Oh, man. All set. That's like the death knell in our industry. I'm all set.
So what did we learn from this little skit? We learned that we need to build better sales conversations. And you need to learn as much as you possibly can about your buyer. You need to add value to their day, because remember, we all sell promotional products in the end. And you really need to learn about their pain points, their goals, their challenges, as well as any opportunities that you have in front of you. But the most important piece is always be helping them. That's what they really need.
Okay. So we're going to show you how we do it. So we're really kind of unzipping here, and we're just going to let it rip. Bear with us, because you're going to be sitting there as promotional product marketers going, what does this have to do with me? It really has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with any business. So the first thing we do, like we do with any of our clients, is we create a strategic marketing plan. We don't do any marketing without a plan. Nothing horizontal, nothing reactionary. We create quarterly sprints. As an agile agency, we work in these quarterly sprints because we can pivot and change based on what we've learned from our efforts. Inside the quarterly sprint, we create what's called a hub and spoke. We create one long-form piece of content, an ebook, a tip sheet, a white paper, case study, and we surround that long-form content with blog and content, meaning we pull and extrapolate the information out of that long-form content to use that as our blogs. Because what happens when you start this journey is you decide to start blogging, and you go, oh, well, what do we blog about? Let's have a meeting, and everybody comes in, you go, let's do this, and let's do that, and you got this crazy marketing campaign that just doesn't work. Then we promote it through social media. So a long-form piece of content looks like this. This ebook's about 3,000 words. It's high value. We write it internally. We don't send it out to be written. And we've written a survival guide for B2B marketers. Remember Mary? Her day sucks, right? She needs help. She's drowning. So we've decided to help her, and we've written this guide. Content looks like this: blog posts, social media, videos, infographics. Here's a supporting blog post. Study finds marketers are overstressed. Here's how to stay calm. Then we promote it on social media. Repeat after me. I won't throw my marketing calendar out the window. Study finds marketers are overstressed. Some Facebook advertising, which all of you should be doing. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's so focused. We can find exactly who we want and advertise right to her. And the coolest thing about all of this, guys, it's measurable. Mary then decides, she clicks through this ad, and she's just entered the buyer's journey. She's in the awareness stage. She's clicked that ad. She's wound up on our blog post. She's poking around. She knows who we are. Now, as agencies and companies, this is about the most important thing that we want. We just want people to find us. I bet if I ask all of you in the room if you do a really good job, and if you say something like, people are happy when they find us because they think we're really great, I bet all of you are going to tell us the same thing. It's probably very true. She gets to that this blog post. She scrolls down the blog post, and maybe at the end, but today, now, this will pop up in the middle. There's the ultimate guide, survival guide. She looks at this, and our goal here is to get her to click through this CTA. So remember the quarterly sprints that we work in? If that CTA is not performing, we change it. It might not be the offer, it might be the language, it might be the graphics. We continually change our tactics. From there, she winds up on a landing page. The most important thing here is we want to collect information about Mary. What does she do? What's her role? It's really important. Once we've collected that information, HubSpot's lead scoring that we've built in will then direct her to the appropriate person based on what we're learning about her. Once she has entered that journey and clicked through, she's going to get an automated email that sounds like this. Now, this email is designed to do three things. First, is Mary an active buyer or is Mary a passive buyer? We only want to work with active buyers first. We're not going to waste our time with passive buyers chasing them. Will we market to them? Yes. They're going to be marketing qualified leads. They will continue to get information from us until they decide to opt out. If they're an active buyer, we're going to talk to them. Secondly, we want to know what Mary's interest really is. Does she want to know about the trade show marketing secrets? or does she want the 6 marketing metrics her boss really cares about? If she clicks through on the trade show marketing secrets, a lead revisit notification is sent to the correct rep, and on our side of the business, that's Cathy, because we know that Mary's interested in some type of trade show.
So once the lead revisit notification gets sent to me via email, we now know that Mary is in the consideration stage. And since Mary was assigned to me, I need to begin learning more about her by looking through her HubSpot profile. Through that HubSpot profile, I can find out when the very first time she visited our website was, just as well as the very last time she visited, what products she has been looking at, and what information she has downloaded. And I can also see if she's active on social media. Then my next step is to go to her LinkedIn profile. From LinkedIn, I can find out what her exact job description is, and what title and job description. Has she been there for a year? Has she been there for 30 years? That's really helpful information because it will help me better build part of my phone conversation in the upcoming calls that I will be discussing with her. And also, and to see who she is following on social media as well. Then I go to her company website, and if they do have a blog, I'm going to subscribe to her blog. And then I'm also going to follow her on social media. So now what? The next step is a phone conversation. I'm sorry. So now what? When do we call a web-generated lead? In the first 5 minutes. And I know this because if I don't call within the first 5 minutes, I'm probably going to go to phone mail or voicemail, and then I'm going to leave her an email or him an email, and then the cycle's just going to continue. We're going to play tag, and it's just going to be that much more challenging to get hold of this client or lead. And also, here is some research. According to the Harvard Business Law, only 26% of companies will call within the first 5 minutes. That's great news for me because we really live by this rule. If you get in touch with that, you're 4 times more likely to contact that lead in the first 5 minutes than you are in 10 minutes. And you're 21 times more likely to contact that lead in the first 5 minutes than you are in 30 minutes. So this is what the phone call sounds like. Hey Mary, it's Cathy. I'm in between meetings and I noticed you downloaded some information. And I'm just calling to see if there's anything I can help you with. And more often than not, the other conversation is, well, as a matter of fact, I'm on your website now, and I really do need your help. After the phone call, I send a personalized email. And this contains information specifically related to the phone conversation we just had, addressing some of her challenges and information that she had shared with me that knows that I can really help her. Mary is now in the decision-making stage.
So what are some best practices in defining the sequence? Take an inventory of your existing content. So you write blogs, you write e-papers, e-books, white papers, case studies, the resources that you have. Because as much as inbound marketing drives people in to do it themselves, a lot of times they're not going to do it. So Cathy and her team have a library of resources. She knows that Mary has a pain point. She will then go in to her resources and decide what she can share with Mary. Mary, I thought after our conversation, it sounded like you were a little frustrated with the ROI in your trade show. I've attached a link to this very helpful guide on how to get better ROI for your trade show, or I think you understand. It's being very helpful. Keep your outreaches short. They don't want the blah-blah-blah about you. Do not talk about yourselves. Reference the buyer twice as much as yourself. Do not talk about yourself. Be helpful. End every email with a question, right? Cathy's email was, is Tuesday at 11 o'clock a good time to reconnect? Sound human and helpful. Is the theme here coming to everybody yet? Helpful. You're not selling them anything. All right, so we're going to get back to Mary's day. It's our second part of our skit. It's business owner Bob. He comes into Mary's office. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
It's going great. I have great news.
What's that?
We're going to a trade show, and we're going in 3 weeks. Salesman Sam thinks it's a great idea. You're up, kiddo.
I'm sorry. Bob, I really have some great ideas that are going to help us generate new leads at the trade show, and I'd love to be able to share them with you. How
I
does
think
that
that's a
sound?
great idea, Mary. One of the things I've been concerned about is how do we pay for that trade show by generating new business? But in the meantime, I think you should get some more of those pens. Our customers love those pens. And get some of those promo shirts, the poloed ones with the logo, and make sure our trade show displays in good order. I think Rodney might have left it someplace last time. And, travel arrangements. I can't wait. This is going to be great, Mary.
I think I'm going to have to give Delta Marketing a call because they've been really very helpful.
So, you guys are all going, oh, no, we just sell promotional products. We don't do this. The title of our talk is Why Our Customers Never Ask About Price, correct? Mm-hmm. Because if we're helpful in Mary's day, she's never asking us about price. She's not. Mm-hmm. She could care less about it. If we can solve her problem on social media, she's stuck. She doesn't know how to create a Facebook ad, or she can't figure out how to do some measurement. She doesn't know which tactic is right. She's talking to her account manager within our team and asking questions. Or she could be talking to Cathy, myself, anyone. We're going to give her as much information to help her in her day as possible. Therefore, they don't ask about price, ever. So there's some takeaways. And this is really important. So out of this mishmash of information, and I know how inbound marketing is hard. I know it. I know that a lot of people in the room will go, I have the right intentions, and yeah, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this thing. I can tell you it's the hardest pivot we as an agency have ever had to make. It's hard. But it pays dividends, and it'll continue to pay dividends because it's evergreen and you own it. And it's a lot of work. There's a ton of free resources out there, especially on HubSpot's website. But the first thing you need to do, whether you decide to do inbound marketing or not, is you need to create your buyer personas. Even if you're not pushing out any content, you need to be able to talk to them in a one-on-one voice and understand what they're looking for you to solve their problems with. And those conversations you can have. It's very important. Create them. Do not put them away, and do not leave them to just wither off in the future. You have to continually update them. Write content for the reader, not for the search engines. If you're going to try to scam the system, you're going to lose. It's not going to work. You can't just go out there and write some crappy content because it's not going to get found. People aren't going to find value in it. They're not going to share it. And last, develop a sequence for your outreach. One of the things we've learned is even as an inbound firm, we would put together all this great information and all these great resources and all this stuff. But if we didn't have a sequence to actually use during the outreach, we would fail because you would tend to then start to make up new outreach sequences, new languages, new introductions, and you kind of panic and it just doesn't go along. So keep those outreach sequences close. If you want some information on how to create your buyer personas, we've written an ebook. It's ungated. You don't have to fill out your information or give us anything. We've put it up here for you. That is it.
Thank you, everybody.
So we're here for questions and answers, and I'm sure people are going to have questions. The funny thing is we practiced this back at our office. We had people in our office pretend that they were you. What questions are you going to answer? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have a quick question. So, with the respond within 5 minutes thing,
Yeah.
is that something that they obviously click through something that you guys have pushed out, or like when are you getting that information because they finally clicked on something and gave that information, right?
Yeah. So
Correct.
I'm really glad you answered that question because this is the most confusing thing, right? HubSpot says inbound. Nurture them automatically. They're going to buy from you without you. It's like magic, right? I've learned because I actually have HubSpot's playbook, how they do it to sell to you. And what we know that is if somebody winds up on your website, if you go to my website later, I'm going to know you're on my website. We can tell everything you're doing. We're not going to pick up the phone and call you. It's just you're in the awareness stage. You really don't care. So what we have to do is make sure that we've qualified you. So as we look through the sequence, you've downloaded information, you've visited our website multiple times, you're in the buyer's journey, you're looking for something, it's clear. We're going to pick up that phone. So the data that we have, and we know from Cathy being the wonderful salesperson that she is that we need to call quickly. Because especially in the promotions world, Marketing Mary has a need, she has a pain point, she has a solution she has to fill right now. So you need to call her right away.
And honestly, if you're not calling in 5 minutes, what's Marketing Mary going to do? She's going to go to the next number and call them. So that's why that 5 minutes is really important.
That's after you qualify there. So say like my system is called Sharp Spring, and I know when someone's been on my website, how long, what page they've been, how long they've been on that page, everything. Let's say they were doing that at 6 o'clock at night, I get in the morning, I can now see that. Is that still the inquisitive stage, or is that still a point where maybe, hey, I noticed you were looking at this, it seems like this might be a need, or now you the creep that knows everything they're doing?
Yeah.
So there's a fine line there, right?
When is it
Yeah.
being weird, and when is it you're being helpful?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you're being weird if you're calling them and they haven't downloaded anything or looked for any high-value content that's going to help them. The only thing I can tell you is there's really no rule here, and I don't care what any of these experts and websites say. Try it. What's the worst thing? What if you come back in the morning and go, hey, and you're very friendly. Hey, Cathy, it's Dave here from Delta Marketing Group. I had a moment, my marketing team shared with me that you were looking for, visiting our website and looking for a few things. Is there anything I can help you with? That's it. What's she going to do? If she doesn't call you, if she doesn't want to do business with you, if something happens, she was never an active prospect to begin with. She was a passive buyer. So move on. So you can't hurt to try. There's no, I can tell you this, there's no set in stone rule, because we used to live by that set in stone rule and it didn't work. And once we started trying to be a little bit more brave and just let it rip, a la Gary V, let it hang out there. We do what's right for us. So challenge yourself and go for it. Just be helpful and friendly. Don't try to sell them anything. And here's the other thing too. If she doesn't respond or call you back or do business with you tomorrow, she's going to come back. You're going to get that opportunity. We have a client that took 15 years for us to get into that door. An IT company, 200 employees, 28 sales reps, and today they do everything with us. 15 years. And if you had said to me the day before they called us in and said, hey, we're interviewing agencies, we would have said, no, there's no way they're going to talk to us. Who else has a question?
The content marketing that you have on your blogs and your social media platforms, do you create those, or are you taking liberty to download from other content marketing people, or do you have copywriters within your company that do that?
Good question. So we write all of our own content. There's a big debate in the inbound world. If you're an inbound agency, hire it out with some of the online services that will write copy for you. We have tried them all, and they don't work because it really has to come from within you. So if one of our clients is a mechanical seals manufacturer and we're writing blogs for them, we've got to know that we've got to be subject matter experts. The people who write blogs for our clients inside are also their account managers. And it's amazing. They're like the smartest people at their Thanksgiving Day dinner. They know like everything about these couple different verticals, 5, 6 verticals that they're managing. And it becomes very challenging at times. But you have to write your own content. When you use curated content, you do that on social media because you're going to be promoting other people's content so that they see you as one of their promoters, and then hopefully will come back and share something from you. You can't plagiarize and use their content on your website, though. Does that help? Yes.
How many personas did you do?
3 to 5. That's it. You can get 3 to 5. You can get really hung up in the weeds and get, 20 of them between all your verticals, and that's not what you want. You want to be able to focus on somebody more like Marketing Mary or HR Helen, or somebody within that field. Depends on what it depends on what your vertical is. If you're very strong in the healthcare vertical, the buyer might be somebody different than somebody who's buying products from us. Yes?
So the persona Marketing Mary hits on with probably everyone in the audience is a distributor, because that's a very common persona.
Yep.
I'm wondering if Marketing Mary has enough time to download and read a multi-page ebook or like about the topic.
Yeah, so our personas, next to Marketing Mary, up above is CMO Barb, the Chief Marketing Officer, and we call her Barb because we have a very good client whose name is Barb. And we just can associate with. Barb has really no interest in, or VP Vinny. Honestly, they don't download a lot of content and they don't read a lot of content. Does anybody know why? Who said that? Exactly. Thank you. You're 100% right. They think they know it all. I don't need that. I can figure this out. Marketing Mary is thirsty, and she's so hungry for information that she reads so much. It's amazing the blog posts that they'll go on. It's amazing that they'll share with us, oh, I was just on Rand Fishkin's blog the other day in Moz, and he said this, or I was just on the Social Media Examiner, and they said that. And if we follow Marketing Mary, we know how active she is on Twitter or Facebook, mostly Twitter, and that will give us the information. We know that she's active, where CMO Barb is not quite as active in social media. So she's not sharing that information. So therefore, she's not as hungry. Anybody else? Yes.
So how do you go about implementing your outreach system? Because I noticed we're trying to explore inbound marketing for ourselves, and I noticed that in your example, you sort of already have built in 5 or 6 different assets. So at what point do you decide, oh, we still need to build up more assets before we can start using the system to reach out to people, or is there a good way to implement the system while you're still developing?
Yeah, I wouldn't implement a system until you built. I mean, it's just a tool, and it's just sitting there, and you're paying for the subscription. By the way, HubSpot is free. They announced it at InBound 16. They have a full growth stack of free software, from the CRM, which is easy and awesome. It kicks ass on everything else we use. They have a free marketing automation tool. It's very, 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 very limited, but it's still free. They have a free email tool as well, so you can get into that game. Once you move up to the next level, HubSpot provides what's called workflows. So we can put an automated workflow in. The automated workflows work good for the first 1 or 2 pieces of communication. What's very important for your sales team is to have workflows enabled in the CRM, because you can put a whole set of different workflows in there so that when they're on the phone, that they can reference, they get off the phone, they can just hit that one workflow so that they know, it's not called workflows, forgive me, it's called sequences for the sales reps. And they can hit that sequence that then goes out to that prospect and nurtures them along in a different, it doesn't sound so automated. I think today we're all smart enough to sense an automated email. I don't care how personalized we make it. It's really difficult. Keep it short, keep it to the point. Did I answer your question? I don't think I did.
Maybe a little more detail about, I guess, how did you guys know about content library to be useful?
What do you mean? How much? If you could explain it a little bit more.
Like in your example,
Yep.
had a reference 5 or 6 different.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So how did you come up with those, is what she's saying?
We don't have enough content on our website right now. We're struggling because we keep stealing our own employees to put client-facing. A junior content person, a junior account manager comes in with us, works on our business, and then junior accounts, and then moves along. We need as much content as we can. You really can't have enough ever. There's no, and here's why. Because we're learning more about Mary. We're learning
Every
more about
day,
our other
right.
personas. And we've got to write different content over time. It's funny, we'll look back at those personas, or even the content we wrote, and we go, geez, we really wrote that? Now, here's another thing, too. I challenge all of you. Write blog posts. If I was to sit down with you and ask you for information about your business and about your industry knowledge, you would spill it all out. Honestly, it would be vomiting of all this great information. But you're holding it all inside. Your first blog post, unless you're a very good writer, sorry, it's going to suck. Go back and look at Gary Vaynerchuk's first ever wine library video. It's pretty pathetic. Look where he is today. You have to put yourself out there, and you shouldn't care what anybody else thinks. You should just put your information out there and help people. Yes?
How did you go about defining your persona? Is it outsourced or something internal?
No,
Is
we.
it a long process to find?
I think if you were to go to that ebook that we have, it's really quite simple. It just takes a little bit of time. It's not that hard. It's really just a little bit of time. I think if you sat down collectively as a team, you could do it in an hour.
I think it's just some basics that you probably already know, but now you're putting it in an organized fashion to actually put a title to the thoughts that you know about your prospects or your current clients.
So let's say you decide to do some Facebook advertising. How do you know who to market to? You're just going to throw it out there? It's a waste of money. If we know that Marketing Mary's between 30 and 35, 30 and 40, we know what industry she's in, what her title is, what her role is, just a bunch of different, we can be very pointed and save a lot of money and get a lot better results based on getting her to the awareness stage through our website. So that's why personas are very important.